Hey YouTubers, Dan87951 here. Went to take the 944 Turbo to work this morning. We don't have too many nice days left, so I thought I'd take it out. This will probably be the final week. We're in first week in November and it's still somewhat warm, like in the late, probably high 40s, low 50s. But when I went to start it, it had a clinking sound. It sounded like it was coming right from this area. And I'm thinking, I've been reading some. I hurried up, and the moment I heard that sound, I immediately shut the car off and started looking online, and I think the cheese head bolt that bolts onto the, or cheese hold bolt that holds on the sprocket or gear for the timing belt for the camshaft is probably loose. You know, I just got done doing the timing belt and water pump. I probably have about 500-600 miles on it, so that's my best educated guess. I'm not gonna go ahead and start the car right now because I'm too scared. I got a little freaked out when I heard it sound like it was running like a diesel engine, so I'm gonna go ahead and tear this apart and get my cheese head tool on there and see if I can see if it's loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started now. I started disassembly, and in order to take the cam cover off right here for the cam cover timing belt sprocket gear, I guess you could say, you got to start off by removing the distributor cap. I use a shorty, a stubby. Push in, turn, and then you definitely need the stubby down here. You can use a long one up top if you want. And you just turn. And I'm going to go ahead and remove this intercooler pipe. Going to be a flathead, another flathead. But before you loosen those, you want to take a 17mm here and break that loose, and then remove your support bar right here, which takes another flathead. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this removed, and I'll show you what the cover looks like once I get that off. Okay, I got the distributor cap removed. Did the two bolts down here, so now it's time to pry this apart. Okay, now I got to remove the rotor and check the cheese head bolt down there. But my guess is that this was, yep, that's it. See how loose that is? That should not be like that at all. That should be really firm. So that was the problem. And it looks like we have some oil, and I just did the seal back behind there. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up, and well, actually that would make sense why it's leaking, because I remember when I tightened it, when you tighten that cheese head bolt, it brings this whole housing and all the seals together nice and tight. So even though I only ran it for probably a couple minutes like this, probably some oil was able to seep past that seal because everything got loosened up. So that does make sense. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this removed and tighten it up with a cheese head bolt and see what happens. All right, YouTubers, I got everything off, and it's pretty obvious what the problem is. I mean, look how loose that shaft is. Look at this gear. See that cheese head bolt in there? Watch this. When I stick this tool on here, see how loose that is? No wonder it was sounding like a diesel engine. This whole assembly was vibrating really loud. But anyways, the reason why I have oil dripping out of here, because I just did the timing belt, balance shaft belt, and these seals in here. I had this whole assembly apart. Is this bolt tightens, it gets actually screwed in to the camshaft back here, and it tightens this whole assembly together. It pushes everything forward, so all the seals are nice and tight. When it's loose like that, the seals are kind of floating and they allow that oil to slip by. And when I was doing research about this bolt, apparently I didn't know this when I originally did the belt job, is that this is what is called a torque to yield bolt, which means it's a one-time use only. And I didn't realize that, so I reused it when I put this camshaft sprocket back on, or gear, and tightened it down. And since it's a one-time use bolt only, it will never reach its tightening capacity ever again. So it's kind of a throwaway. Once it's been tightened once, you really kind of have to throw it away, is my understanding anyways from the internet. So I've already gone ahead and ordered a new bolt, and I'm going to put some Loctite on it and button everything back up. But if you guys got a 944 that sounds like a diesel, and you had just got done doing a belt job and maybe some camshaft seals, I would check here first. Save yourself a lot of headache instead of taking this whole cam cover off, because at first I thought it was something under here, but thank God it ended up being something simple for me. So until next time, guys, this is what it takes to keep a 30-year-old Porsche on the road. Got the bolt installed, and it no longer sounds like a diesel. Car seems to be running good. So hopefully this gives you an insight on what it takes to keep a 30-year-old Porsche running. Till next time, guys, talk to you later.